Friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my beautiful rideshare revolutionaries. It's me, Gio. You know, the fuck it is. The man, the myth, and the machine. And, okay, full disclosure. I had every intention of taking the day off yesterday, right? I got home and I kind of fell asleep till, like, noon, and I didn't really even think about driving because I didn't think it was going to be busy, and because I was supposed to go to my aunt's house last night, and Chicago and the suburbs, it showed lots of demand on Uber at least, and I was like, man, it's like, you know what, would it be a huge tragedy if I just planned Saturday with friends I haven't seen in a while? And I'm like, would it be a tragedy if I just went and drove rather than going to dinner? And I just chose to drive, right? Because my family knows I like to stay busy. They know I need to make money. And they know that their cooking skills aren't that great. So here's the thing. I have two sides of my family, right? My side of the family cannot cook to save their lives. My cousin's side of the family, her husband is a catering chef. And I fucking love going to dinner at their place because I could always get a great meal. But we weren't going to the catering chef's place yesterday. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try to make money. And so another thing that happened yesterday was, as I was getting ready to go, O'Hare was surging really well. And there was a really low queue. So I told my group chat, watch, I'm going to go to O'Hare, get a 60-minute plus, and go to like Minneapolis with a 625 flat surge. And then Rick, the baldest. You know, this is why it's funny to have people that know what they're talking about in a group chat. Because he's like, no, you're going to get it's a 625 now, but it's going to be a 325 when you get a ride or whatever. So funny story. I got in at the lot right after it got down. I think it went from like 625 to 425. Mine was locked in at 375. So Rick was right. But here's the crazy part. I told my group chat my first ride was going to be a 60-minute plus to Minneapolis. I said that, right? I didn't quite go to Minneapolis, but I did go to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. That ride took an hour and 20 minutes. I was at the lot for about 45 minutes before I got that ride. So that first ride of the day paid $122, right? And while I know typically that one big ride, it's cool, but most of the time you're not going to make anything coming back, right? Yesterday I got very lucky, but there's also a couple things. I'm gonna come down on both apps right now. The first one is Lyft, right? I'm gonna need my drawing app for this one. The first one is Lyft because I'm super disappointed in something that happened yesterday on the Lyft side. Let me just put this over here. Yeah. So I got this request. I dropped off the gentleman from O'Hare to Lake Geneva around 6:22. And I set both filters for Chicago, Uber and Lyft. And then I got lucky. I thought, because this one said scheduled trip, I was like, oh my God, if this guy's going downtown or going to the airport at this time, like my whole day is saved, right? So here's the part that I didn't even notice until I was in my group chat today. Look what time I took that ride. 6:27, right there. 6:27. That's what time I accepted the ride. This is what time I dropped that gentleman off. And this is how much I made for an hour of my time. From 6:27 to 7:27, I made $8.68 on Lyft and I'll show you where I was. When I got this ping, I know this video is going to be a little scattered, but any of you are, hey, hair surgeon, all right. I'll show you where I was when I got this ping. So I was somewhere around here when I got that ping. And the Lyft request was, what, over here somewhere, maybe? Let me check. Okay. Round Lake Beach. Yeah, so it was, just check this out. So I was around here when I got the request, and I had to drive right there, right? It was, I remember on the Lyft app, it said it was going to take me 21 miles to pick up this guy, right? And it was only, and he was going a little bit west of there, right? So for an hour of my time, I got paid $8.68 or whatever, right? This is why I always make fun of Lyft saying they are amateur. If this was an Uber ride, I would have made like $16 in the long pickup. Before I even picked that person up, I would have made like 16 bucks. I'm not saying 24 bucks an hour is anything to write home about, but the amount of miles I drove to pick this person up, and compared to what I made on this ride is, I mean, is it that hard to do a long pickup fee? I mean, Lyft, you are the pink Uber. Like, that's ridiculous. It's been an hour to make $8.68. Not, if I spent an hour and that was the only thing I got in an hour, then I'd get it. But the fact that I drove probably 30 miles for $8, that's a little maddening right there. So again, Lyft is the amateur squad because that's pretty garbage. And let's go back from that. I don't think I need you anymore. Yeah, but I got lucky yesterday too. So, but I got lucky because after I dropped off that Lyft ride, I ended up getting this ride here. This had a long pickup, I think, right? Long pickup fee, $276. Yeah. This had a long pickup fee. It was 7.5 miles. This guy left me a cash tip. That was cool. That took me back towards like northern Illinois a little bit. So that was, where was that? That was around here somewhere, right? Yeah, that was in this area, kind of. That was down here. Yeah, that was like Island Lake, Wakanda, right? Yeah, because I remember I went down, actually, yeah. I remember I went down that road from Lake Moore to where it says Volo and took that down. So that happened. And then I got lucky again on the way to pick up. After I dropped that person off, I got this request. This was a stacked 45 plus request. And as you guys can see there, also a long pickup fee. Lyft, hope you're taking notes. And this one was a 45 plus. This one took over an hour because traffic was really bad on the highway for some reason to go from Lyne to Chicago. And that one with the tip paid close to $65. So, on Uber and 3 hours with the app on, I made nearly over $200 with the cash tip. With Lyft, with 1 hour with the app on, I made $868. Any of you who tell me Lyft is a better app in Chicago, you are out of your damn mind. And I'm going to show you this again. Oh, but first, let me go into something I want to show you here. I have to make fun of Uber for this one. Uber sent out this thing on the app saying we have to update the new terms of service to turn the app on. And I read through all of it. And I found this interesting. Check this out. So it says driving time restrictions. And because that caught me, I was like, hey, all right. The Chicago ride-sharing ordinance requires that no TMP driver operates a vehicle for over 12 hours in a 24-hour period. To ensure your driving is safe, your account will be unable to go online if you surpass this limit. Drive safely. I didn't scratch anything out. I was trying to underline that for the group chat. It says there we have 12 hours of driving time. Then why? This would be embarrassing if they updated this since yesterday. Why, stupid, does my app show 10 hours? That's almost as amateur as Lyft. when I saw that, I got so excited. I'm like, yes, 12 hours. Because I'm like, you guys know I don't mind driving a lot. You know I don't mind working a lot. If they gave us 12 hours per day in the city of Chicago, I would drive 12 hours Monday through Saturday and take Sundays off. And yeah, I'd be happy about it. I probably wouldn't hit that limit every single day either. But the 10-hour limit really hurts us on the weekends. I like driving more on the weekends, but I just wasn't coming close to making that money. So, or I wasn't coming close to, I'd always come close to like hitting that 10-hour mark or whatever. So if we got the 12-hour limit, I'd be thrilled. But it says we have 12 hours, but the app still reflects 10 hours. So that's pretty garbage. And yeah, and let me go into my last bit of screenshots here. This is to show you, this is the difference between Uber and Lyft. This was last night at 9:40. I was at a gas station after I dropped off that Lyne ride, the Lyne to Chicago ride. And I was like, I didn't really think it was going to be busy anymore. I was surprised. So I checked Lyft first. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look like anything spectacular, right? And then I checked Uber. Like, keep in mind, 9:40 at night, 9:40 p.m., 9:41 p.m. Uber. Who do you think has more demand in this city? Right? Look at that. It's like a Christmas tree. It's beautiful. Yeah, I got a couple surge rides. Nothing spectacular. And I made an extra $40 from from 10 to like 11:30. And I slept in this morning because I figured there wouldn't be a morning rush. So yeah, yesterday was good. I mean, you know, for the first 3 hours I was actually driving, or first 4 hours on the app, I made over $200. So that's cool. That usually doesn't happen, and that I did not expect that for a holiday. So I kind of, yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna come down on me for not enjoying Thanksgiving dinner, but I felt like driving. You know, I'd rather make money. Like, my family knows I love them and care for them and all that stuff, but it's just dinner. You know, holidays are what you make them. Home is where you make it. Holidays is what you make them. So, yeah, that's all I got, guys. I just want to make fun of both apps for very amateur behavior on both their parts. Really disappointed in Lyft that I drove for an hour and only made $8. And disappointed that Uber cannot update the amount of time we get on the app. So that's all I got. Right now I'm at 8:25 on both apps, I think. And I'm taking Saturday night off, so this is a bankruptcy week for me. I'm only gonna make like $1,500. So pray for me. That's all I got, guys. I want to thank y'all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay classy, stay bearded, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.